shortly. When he comes in, then she will stop the meeting and swear.
A 6 feet?
But I can swear everybody else in
Green.
in the beginning.
Okay. Meeting is called to order. Roll call.
Mr. Valley,
Abstain.
Miss Janice Warner. Here. Miss Dana Gamblin,
Here.
Mr. Walt Matthews, Mr. Gary Gundelsberger,
Here.
Miss Sharon Johnson. Here. Miss Allison Will.
Okay. We'll go ahead and get started with the meeting. It's been called to order.
We just started.
Okay, you said you had to explain about for 213.
Yeah, we got old business on there, right? It's under old
Okay, we'll
business.
start today with the old business. That
Oh, wait a
is,
minute, we got to swear people in.
Yep. If you wish to give testimony today, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
okay. We have old business starting 21-03, AMC Development LLC, appealing the demolition of 213 Reese Street.
Yeah, and he said he was going to be late to the meeting today, but I thought we could just get all the due process and legalities out of the way before he gets here. You see what I'm doing here? I hate using this. Can I just use these arrows, Kelly? Like these? Okay. So the property owner is AMC Development LLC, whose tax mailing address is listed by the Erie County Auditor as 680 East Colorado Boulevard, number 180, Pasadena, California, 91101. The property was purchased on April 24th, 2020 for $7,400 and is a rental unit. No other property is owned by the company in Erie County. In 2021, the rental registration is past due, so he has not paid. He's a new owner, but he hasn't paid for this year. It's vacant, so what we would normally do is have them fill out a vacant affidavit, and it would exempt them from the rental registration until they actually put a tenant in there. The property taxes are delinquent in the amount of $542.38, and I'm assuming that had something to do with the transfer of title in the title company. Information from the Erie County Auditor's website showing ownership and delinquent tax information is submitted as Exhibit A. And you all saw this in your packet. And we'll stop the meeting right now. Or,
We're going to go ahead and do the swearing in, so if you wish to give testimony, we swore everybody else in, but if you wish to give testimony, please raise your right hand.
Okay.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
okay, the notice and order of demolition of the dwelling is being appealed by Alejandro Cardenas. Is that
That's the owner of the company.
Okay.
Of the house.
AMC Development LLC? The appeal form is submitted as Exhibit B, and the appeal form states that the owner will rehab the property in the following 90 days. Relevant points are listed as follows. The property was just purchased. The company is currently based in California. The contractor didn't send the company the scope of work, and the company will rehab the property within 90 days. And that was in, you had this too to look over, the appeal form. Previous ownership. On December 2nd, 2019, the Code Compliance Division of the City of Sandusky received a complaint from the Sandusky Fire Department in which they responded to a fire call at 213 Reese Street on December 1st, 2019, and I submitted a copy of the fire department's incident report as Exhibit C. On December 3rd, 2019, Code Compliance Officer Brad Link inspected and condemned the dwelling as unfit for human habitation pursuant to Sections 1341-18C2, 4, 7, and 8 of the Environmental Health Housing Code of the City of Sandusky. Those pictures are submitted as Exhibit D. And the owner at the time was Olendick Properties LLC, 809 William Street, Huron, Ohio. And their registered agent was Josh Olendick at 809 William Street, Huron, Ohio. A notice of the unfit dwelling was mailed to the registered agent by certified mail. The certified mail receipt was signed on December 14th, 2020, a copy of the notice of unfit dwelling and the signed certified mail receipt is submitted as Exhibit E. So there's Exhibit C, that was the fire report. You all had a chance to read that. And then Exhibit D are the pictures of the fire damaged property. And these were taken on December 3rd, 2019. And there is the condemnation notice and the certified mail. On April 24th, 2020, the property was sold to AMC Development LLC with the tax mailing address of 680 East Colorado Boulevard, Pasadena, California. The owner information is from the Erie County Auditor's website and the registered agent information from the California Secretary of State's website submitted as Exhibit F. On July 2020, an exterior inspection of the property was performed and no repairs appeared to have been made. Pictures are submitted as Exhibit G. On July 27th, 2020, a notice and order of violation was mailed to the registered agent Ming Che Su, 300 West Valley Boulevard, in Alhambra, California. The mail was delivered to the registered agent on July 30th, 2019. The notice and order of violation, the certified mail receipt, and the USPS mail tracking report is submitted as Exhibit H. And there's the change of ownership, Exhibit F. California Secretary of State listing the registered agent. And these are the pictures taken July 20th of 2020. And that's Exhibit H, the notice and order of violation. And there's the mail receipt and the mail tracking report. A search warrant was executed on August 13th, 2020. Probable cause was based on inspections performed on December 3rd, 2019 and July 2020, and no repairs were made. The dwelling has been fire damaged, neglected, vacant, and condemned for over 8 months, and the code compliance officer was of the opinion that the current condition of the dwelling poses a serious hazard to the health and safety of the neighboring properties in the surrounding neighborhood. The purpose of the search warrant was to grant the code compliance officer and the city's building official access to the interior and exterior of the dwelling to perform an inspection to determine whether the dwelling is more than 50% damaged, decayed, or deteriorated from its original value or structure pursuant to Section 1341, 18D3 of the codified ordinances, in order to ascertain if the structure is blighted and therefore eligible to be demolished with community development block grant funding, and to enable the Code Compliance Division to perform its lawful duty and for the health, safety, welfare of the neighboring property owners and the community at large. Copy of the search warrant submitted as Exhibit I, and the pictures obtained during the search warrant are submitted as Exhibit J. And you had the search warrant in your packet. These are the pictures from August 13th of 2020. On August 12, 2020, a title report was requested from Fidelity National Title Company to identify any lien holders or other parties that may have an interest in the property. The title report revealed a mortgage from AMC Development LLC to JDAS Properties for $5,000, dated April 7, 2020. The title report is submitted as Exhibit K. And on August 23, 2020, Scott Tom, the building official for the city of Sandusky, determined that the total percentage of deterioration of the structure is 56.72%, and the building official's report is submitted as Exhibit L. And there is the title report showing that lien. And there is the Building official report showing 56.72%. On October 19th, 2020, a notice and order of demolition and a copy of the building official's report was mailed to the parties holding an interest in the property by certified mail and certificate of mailing. AMC Development, the registered agent there. The certified mail was delivered on October 22nd, 2020. JDAS Properties LLC, care of Jonathan Schuman, New Mexico registered agent. The certified mail was delivered on October 10th, 2020. And JDAS Properties, care of Kevin Gordon, the registered agent there in Akron, Ohio. And the certified mail was returned unclaimed, and service was then perfected by the certificate of mailing. Copy of the letter, certified mail receipt, return mail, and certificate of mailing receipts submitted as Exhibit M. And there is the letter that went out, addressed to the different entities. Here's the green card from JDS. There's the green card from AMC. And there's the return mail from JDAS. And there's the certificate of mailing receipt. And here are the pictures dated January 26, 2021.
We have today's.
No, I'll put it in a minute. So, code compliance recommendation. The building officials determined that the structure is 56.72% damaged, decayed, and deteriorated from its original value. Section 1341-18D3 of the codified ordinances of the city of Sandusky states that when a structure is 50% damaged, decayed, or deteriorated from its original value, it shall be demolished. Because the structure is slightly over 50% deteriorated, it is recommended that the Housing Appeals Board consider granting a variance if all the variance requirements requested by the Code Compliance Division are met. And that would be that for you guys to actually grant the variance, Section 134107B of the codified ordinance provides that the board shall interpret the intent of the chapter in specific cases where on appeal it clearly appeals that by reason of special conditions, undue hardship would result from a literal application of any section of this chapter. Where undue hardship is clearly demonstrated, the board may permit a variance from the applicable section if the dwelling will vary only a reasonable minimum from the literal chapter, but will comply with the spirit and intent of this chapter with respect to sanitation, safety, and rehabilitation. And if the board decides to grant a variance, the code compliance strongly recommends that the owner meet all of the conditions set forth on the next slide. And if at any time any one of the conditions of the variance are not met, the Housing Appeals Board shall revoke the variance, deny the appeal, and order the demolition of the structure. And those requirements would be that before construction or rehabilitation commences, a comprehensive rehabilitation plans shall be approved by the city's chief building official, and any changes to the approved rehabilitation plan shall be submitted to and approved by the city's chief building official before any changes commence or construction takes place. That proof of financial capacity to complete the approved rehabilitation plan shall be provided. That all required building permits be obtained. During construction rehabilitation period, we require that rehabilitation of the structure shall commence immediately and proceed with due diligence until completed within a time period deemed reasonable by the Housing Appeals Board. And rehabilitation of the structure shall be completed in accordance with the plans approved by the chief of building official, and any changes to the rehabilitation plans at that time shall be approved in writing by the chief building official. A code compliance officer shall be granted access to inspect the structure on a monthly basis in order to report progress of the rehabilitation project to the Housing Appeals Board. And then I don't think I want to show you the pictures, but there's no other port on here for today. So we'll close this. And this would be from today. And that would be it. So that is our report, and would you like to take the microphone? If you step up, please state your name and address for the microphone to give testimony. There's hand sanitizer here if you would like it.
My name's Robert Covington. I just started working for AMC Development in the last, I say, 6 weeks, and they asked me to take this on. I did go into the facility and I checked it out, and my plan is that I want to start in May. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to gut the whole building out, and I'm going to remove everything. I'm going to
Sir, can you
seal.
speak up?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to seal and basically seal and coat the whole entire because the smell of the fire, to basically soften that. And then I'm basically only going to take care of the interior position. Now, everything else, like the roof, the windows, the doors, well, I'll be taking care of the door, but the roof and the windows and the siding will be taken care of by another subcontractor, which Natalia is Alex's sister, and her and I are working close together, and, we're trying to make sure this happens. So just on my end of it, I sent them this estimate, and she's gonna do a lot of the other subcontracting out with the electricians, with the roofers, with the siding, the windows, but I'm gonna be mainly responsible for everything that's inside.
Okay, Portman, I got a question. So what do you do? I mean, what's your title? You just said you're Robert Covington. Then you
Oh, I'm
started
sorry.
going into a deal about what your plan is, but who are you?
Well, I'm a contractor. I just came here from California. So I'm pretty, I know what the strict codes look like, because California wouldn't let you do anything unless they checked it out section by section, by piece. And so it's like,
So you're from California,
Mm-hmm.
but, so you're gonna stay here to do the work?
oh yeah, I'm here. I'm actually living out in Brimfield, quite a ways from here, but that's where I'm staying out now.
Okay, and then you have a written plan?
I do have an estimate that I just sent her, but I wasn't aware that we had to have some type of, like the floor plan set up, which I have that. I have that on my laptop. I can make that all out, and then I can send it to you or get it okayed by whoever needs to be looking at it. But I didn't know that this thing was that extensive. I just thought that what we're doing here is just trying to make sure we can keep the investment before, because their overall plan is that they want to turn it into an Airbnb.
I'm sorry, they want to turn it into what?
An Airbnb, it's like the newest hotel kind of experience. It's set up to where people go through the Airbnb website and they pretty much rent the rooms. And it's just like a hotel. You have everything set up to where, especially for the area that it's in over here by Cedar Point. So really all it is that you go through the Airbnb website, just like if you were going to book a hotel, and they have to take your background and all that other stuff.
Copies of that?
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then I can-
we would definitely need to see a plan, and I think the city would want to see that as well. I mean,
Okay.
because we don't even know if that property is zoned for that area to be an Airbnb, so, but that's something that we would like to see.
Sure. Okay. For sure.
Anybody else have any questions, ma'am?
Yes, I have a question for you, sir.
Mhm.
This comes as a surprise to me, Airbnb,
Yeah.
because now we're talking about a property that has no permanent resident. You're renting it out to whomever, correct?
Correct.
And people are on their best behavior to act accordingly, correct?
That's through the Airbnb website or their affiliation. In order to even be able to rent one of the rooms for Airbnb, you have to basically submit your ID. They do a background check. I mean, they did a background check on me because I just got finished opening up an Airbnb out in Lakemore, Ohio. So you have to go through an extensive background check. You just can't come walking in here like you're just checking into a hotel room, because that's what basically protects not only the owners of the property, but also the people who are actually in there. Because we don't know who's coming in next or what's happening from there.
Well, my question would be, is it zoned to accommodate
Angie's checking that right now, and she'll come in and let us know.
an Airbnb? Okay, so you've owned this property, AMC has owned this property since April 24th of 2020. What have you done to it since then? What improvements, if any?
I don't believe that there's been any improvements. I mean, I just-
Interior, exterior, have you picked the
just-
yard up at all?
basically just, going by and looking at it, just for myself, I've just gone by and looked at it and seen what needed to be done. But I know the one gentleman that you guys tried to reach, Kevin, I don't know, like, if he had to change the address, but he was the one that was supposed to be kind of like keeping an eye on it. But I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. But he, something that
I can actually talk to that a little bit. If you remember at the last meeting, we had to postpone it due to her son tested positive for COVID. They had to go into quarantine. Prior to that, somebody else in their family had COVID and they were under quarantine, so they got hit by a double whammy. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But I did explain to her on the phone too that we needed an extensive rehab plan and that we needed to show the financial capacity. So she must not have told you that.
Because all I've done really is just give him what mine are going to be, just going in and taking care of the initial inside of it. That's not including new cabinets. I mean, this is just basically putting some walls up and, doing, just the first initial paint. And
Yeah, 'cause
then, yeah.
that was gonna be my question. This bid seems so low to take a burnt
Yeah, this is just to put
and
up
make it
walls.
into a B and B.
Yeah, the cleaning around the property and putting up walls.
We
That's,
really need to see some plans.
okay.
And then I'm gonna be concerned with this May 3rd through June 8th date. And I do agree with my colleague that this happened back in 2020. And I know we had COVID, and nothing has been done
Okay.
to the building.
Well, I'm on the case now. I mean, I'm not going to drag my feet on this. I'm finishing up a property right now in Stowe, Ohio, and that should be done by the end of, or I should say mid-April. So when that's all done, I'm preparing the basic, I'm going to be out here and going to be here myself, fortunately, in, the whole situation. And I'll be working close with Natalie, who is with AMC Development. And I can talk to her this evening, and we can put this all together. And I can email it out to you guys. I'll have
You
it,
need to put this all together.
Yeah, well,
because-
he may have to rethink that. If Angie needs, can you swear Angie in, please?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna swear Angie and Dante in. Please raise your right hand if you're giving testimony. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say I do.
Okay,
then-
Mr. Covington, we're gonna defer to one of the inspectors real quick to give us some updated information on this Airbnb, so,
okay.
if you have a seat, Angie, if you take that and let us know is it zoned, is it not zoned?
It is zoned R2F, which is not permitted for a transient rental. The only residential zone that is permitted is roadside residential business, and it's nowhere near there. The transient overlay is in the Cove District, which is Meg Street East and First Street North, and it doesn't fit in that category either. Okay,
So a transient rental is not permitted, correct?
absolutely not.
I figured that.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, so Mr. Covington, you can step back up if you like. I mean, and this is just my suggestion. You need to get back with, what's her name, Natalie? And you and Natalie need to come up with some type of plan. We need to see it in writing. We need to see money, dollars, cents, what you're gonna do with this. And now, since you know it's not gonna be able to be an Airbnb, you need to figure out something else to do with that.
Well, the other option was just fix it up and sell it. If they can't, if they don't want to do the whole rental thing because they don't have anybody that can actually come to the properties, and they don't want to pay for a management company to take care of the properties, so it's just going to be fix it up and sell it. So that would be the only other option that this company has.
Any more? Sharon?
Sir, when did they buy, did the people buy this as a burned-out house? Was
Yes.
it burned out when they bought it?
I believe so.
Yes.
And they plan to fix it up and sell it, or the whole, first I thought it was a rental. So they've been going back and forth a lot, and it's like, I'm just, like I said, I just started with the company, and I just started coming in, and, you know, they started just throwing this stuff on my plate, so I was just like, okay, I'll do the best that I can, you know, but, you know,
This is really in bad condition. This is going to cost a lot of money. This is just, we've got an estimate here on just your work for $9,607. That's a drop in the bucket.
yeah, it's just to put up some walls and clean up the area. And that's not including, you know, flooring, anything else like that. So, you know, that's all they asked me to just, you know, they wanted me to put up some walls, clean up the area, make it look, you know, get that, that rate up from 56 up to, like, you know, try to get it up higher. Because I don't know, like, what their next plan, I know they just purchased a lot of properties, so I think what they're doing is just putting it in sections, is my guess, but I don't want to make any assumptions, I don't know.
Well, sir, I'm going to tell you, I have a problem with this. I have a real problem with this because this is sat for so long. No attempt has been made to do anything to the property. Now you come in tonight with an intention to use it for a B&B, which isn't permitted by the code, by the zoning, and you don't have the information that you were supposed to bring along with you. That was relayed to whomever to relay it to you. You don't have it. At the earliest, when did you say you were going to start working on this?
In May,
In May. So this is February 23rd. We're going to be in a 2.5-month delay for you to get going just to do a minimal part of it. Okay.
but it's just my end of it, I don't,
I
I'm gonna have to make sure that
I
everyone
understand.
else comes in at the same time. It's just, this is my part. Someone else is gonna be coming in and doing the roofing, siding, you know, the driveway, whatever it consists, the landscaping, all this will be done, because they want me here at this time doing these things so I can coordinate with these guys. So I'm acting as more or less as the general contractor on site.
So how long has the house sat empty that you have done nothing to it?
Since they purchased it in October of 2020, that's from what I know.
Why haven't they done anything with it?
I would think that the people that were responsible, again, I don't know what was going on personally with them families or with COVID, but that's when they finally turned to me and asked if I could do what I can, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm doing the best.
So are you representing them, or?
Yes. I'm representing the best that I can with what information I've been given.
I think I'm with Gary. I mean, the way you bought this, you bought a burned-out house, and you're just gonna, looks like you're gonna put the bare minimum in it to sell it, and you didn't do anything since you bought it. And now we're at the 11th hour.
Understood.
Okay.
You see, one other comment. The unlikely situation here is that you've had, since April of 2020, to call the city and say, hey, we want to do a B&B in this 213 Reese Street. Is that okay? Anybody do that? Well, I don't know if you know the answer to that or not, but I would think someone who wanted this to move forward quickly, based on the history of this property, would have made that effort, and it doesn't sound like that's happened at all. You come in tonight with this new information that could have been resolved months ago.
I
Oh.
agree. I do.
No, I'm not in favor of this at all.
Okay. Any more comments? Okay.
I'd like to make, can we make a motion?
Make a
Okay.
motion.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we deny that this house be taken down, 213 Reese Street be taken down. We deny that appeal.
I'm going to second that.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Roll call.
Roll call.
Ms. Sharon Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Gary Gunsberg.
Yes.
Ms. Dana Gamblin,
Yes.
Mr. Frank Valley,
Yes.
Ms. Janice Warder.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Covington, at this time, it has been denied what you're asking for at this point, so, there may be another process. You may have to look into that or have Natalie or whomever look into that.
Okay,
Okay?
appreciate you guys' time, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Amanda, 1 minute before you start the next one, I need to ask about the minutes. I apologize, I didn't have my glasses on in the beginning. I need to get a motion for the minutes for last month's meeting.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and properly second, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have new business. 2104, Mr. Carl Winery is appealing his first and second administrative penalties.
Excuse me, what did you say? What was the address you gave?
I didn't give an address,
What was the 20, you said?
the case number.
Oh, my fault.
Okay,
Okay.
Amanda, you can,
Okay, this is appeal of the first and second administrative penalty for 1021 Tiffin Avenue. Appeal, the appeal form was in your packet. They were two separate appeal forms. The property owner, on April 26, 2019, the Erie County Auditor listed the owner of the property as Sally L. Winery, trustee, with the tax mailing address of 1811 Remington Avenue, Sandusky, Ohio. This is the only property owned per the Erie County Auditor's Office records. And at the time, the property taxes were current. Rental registration fees for 2020 and 2021 are paid. However, past registration fees have not been paid. A payment plan was entered into on January 12, 2019, but has not been complied with, and a balance of $255 remains outstanding. Owner information from the auditor's website and a copy of the letter regarding payment, the payment plan mailed on December 12, 2019. The return certified mail, the USPS mail tracking report and certificate of mailing is submitted as Exhibit A. And there's the auditor's information, current taxes. This was the letter, and you all had a chance to read it. It was in your packet. And this was the past registration that's still due. And here's a copy of the unclaimed mail. And the mail tracking report said that it's unclaimed, and therefore service was perfected by the certificate of mailing. The inspection, the garage was located at 1021 Tiffin Avenue, was inspected on April 4th, 2019, due to a fire report received from the Sandusky Fire Department. A two-story detached garage with flames showing from the side of the garage facing the back alley. These are taken from the report, the fire report. The majority of the fire was knocked down on the first floor, and the second floor was accessed with ground ladder to the exterior window. The resident in the house at 1021 Tiffin Avenue met us out back and said there was no power to the garage, and she didn't know of anyone that was even in the garage since Christmas. Owner of the property was contacted via phone and was in California. He said he did not want a board-up company called to secure the structure and would have his friend come over in the morning to look at boarding up the building. The overhead layout of the property, the fire report, and pictures from the inspection by the Division of Code Compliance taken on April 24th, 2019 are attached as Exhibit B and submitted on record. And this is where the garage is. It's actually at the alley and back of the property where the property fronts on Tiffin Ave, kind of on the corner there. This is the expert from the fire report that I read. And I gave you the entire fire report in your packet to submit on record. And these were the pictures taken 4/24/2019. Then the garage was inspected again on May 6, 2019 to see if it was secured. The garage had not been secured or boarded up to protect it from access by rodents and the elements. No repair work had been done. Those pictures are submitted as Exhibit C. And there are May 6 pictures. The notice of violation of due process, the structure was cited in violation of the following sections of the Environmental Health Housing Code. There were 3 violations of Section 1341-13A1, eaves, roof, walls. The code says they shall be reasonably weather-tight and watertight, shall be kept in good, sound working condition and good repair. Section 1341-13A2, downspouts and gutters shall be properly installed in an improved manner and kept in sound working condition and good repair. Section 1341-13A4, exterior surfaces shall be maintained in good repair as to provide sufficient covering and protection, excuse me, of the structural surface underneath against deterioration with approved exterior grade waterproofing materials applied in an approved manner and of a uniform color and appearance to match or complement the other structural surfaces on the premises. On May 9th, 2019, a notice and order of violation was mailed to the owner by certified mail, irregular mail evidenced by a certificate of mailing at the owner's tax mailing address with a reinspection date of May 23rd, 2019. The certified mail was returned and marked by USPS as unclaimed, therefore service was perfected by the certificate of mailing. The notice and order of violation, returned certified mail and certificate of mailing receipt is submitted as Exhibit D. Here's the notice. There is the unclaimed mail. And there's the certificate of mailing. Email correspondence. I actually provided you with the copies of the emails with these excerpts taken out. Wednesday on May 8th, 2019, there was an email to myself from Eva Olcott, who is the administrative assistant for the Sandusky Police Department. She stated that she spoke to Carl from 1021 Tiffin, and he said the debris in the alley would be cleaned up on Monday. And on Thursday, May 9th, 2019, there was an email to various city departments from John Orzak, who is the chief of police, asking if there would be a problem with Carl Winery having a dumpster set in the alley to clean up the fire debris. It would block the alley off, but the other property owners would have access to the alley in their garages off of Monroe Street. Aaron Klein, city engineer, replied that he was okay with it. And Eva replied that she would request barricades be placed on both sides of the dumpster. She advised that after viewing the alley, it would be a tight fit. On Thursday, May 9th, Dave Borsick from our street department advised to let him know if a dumpster is placed and they'll get barricades out. On Tuesday, May 14th, 2019, from Eva to Dave stating that the dumpster was supposed to be delivered yesterday and asking that barricades be dropped off in the alley. On Friday, May 23rd, 2019, from Eva to Brad Link, Code Compliance Officer, requesting a status update. She stated that Cyclone delivered a dumpster on May 13th so he could get the mess cleaned up. He was supposed to have it there 1 week since the alley is not allowed to be blocked. But we made an exception for him, and at this time, Cyclone had not called to tell her they had picked up the dumpster. Brad advised that he has not seen the dumpster, but the debris in the alley was cleaned up, and he advised he would drive over, take a look, and report back. Eva replied that if the dumpster is gone and the barricades are still there, she would need to call the street department to pick them out. And I submitted those printouts of the emails as Exhibit E. Pictures of the barricades and debris in the alley taken on May 17th, 2019, May 21st, 2019, and May 28th, 2019 are submitted as Exhibit F. And here are those pictures. This is May 17. This is May 21. This is May 21. This is May 21. This is May 28th. This is May 28th. This is May 28th. May 28th. The first reinspection. On May 30th, 2019, a second notice and order of violation was mailed to the owner by certified mail and regular mail evidenced by a certificate of mailing at the owner's tax mailing address. The certified mail was returned by USPS, and the mail tracking report states that it was unclaimed. Service was perfected by the certificate of mailing. The property was re-inspected on June 5th, 2019. The barricades were still in place, the debris was still in the alley, and no repairs had been made to the garage. The notice and order of violation, returned certified mail, USPS mail tracking report, certificate of mailing receipt, and pictures are submitted as Exhibit G. Here's the notice of violation. Here's the returned unclaimed mail. The mail tracking report that states it was unclaimed. The certificate of mailing receipt. Pictures taken June 5th, 2019. The second reinspection, the property was inspected again on September 11th, 2019, and it appeared that the debris had been cleared out of the alley, but the property was still open to the elements. No repairs had been made to the structure. Pictures are submitted as Exhibit H. And these were taken 9/11/2019. The third reinspection was December 12, 2019. No repairs have been made to the garage. On December 16, 2019, a third notice and order of violation was mailed to the owner by certified mail and regular mail evidenced by a certificate of mailing at the owner's tax mailing address. The certified mail was returned by USPS marked unclaimed. Service was perfected by the certificate of mailing. A copy of the pictures, notice and order of violation, returned certified mail, and certificate of mailing receipt are submitted as Exhibit I. And here are those pictures taken December 12th of 2019. Here's the notice and order of violation that was mailed out on the 16th, I believe. There's the returned mail. There's a certificate of mailing. I put at Matt Lasko's request, a meeting was held with Mr. Winery, but I believe that it was pretty much mine and Matt's decision because Mr. Winery had requested. So on January 26th, 2020, we held that meeting, and in attendance was Toby Carl Winery, Housing Manager Amanda McLean, Co-Compliance Officers Brad Link, John Ferris, Dante Ship, and Nuisance Officer James DeSalle of the Sandusky Police Department. An attempt was made to determine a timeline for repair of the garage located at 1021 Tiffin Ave. Mr. Winery advised that there still was an open investigation by the Sandusky Fire Department as to the cause of the fire. Later, it was confirmed with the fire marshal that because the cause of the fire was undetermined, the case was not officially closed, but the investigation was completed and repairs could be made to the garage. At the meeting, Mr. Winery asked for an extension of time and stated that the repairs to the garage would be completed by July 30th, 2020. At that meeting, I did give him an appeal form. The pictures taken on January 9th, 2020, prior to the meeting date are submitted as Exhibit A. And here are the pictures on January 9th. And then on February 25th, 2020, I received an email from Matt Lasko, and a copy of that email chain is submitted as Exhibit K. In the email, Matt advised that he granted an extension until November 30th, 2020, and Mr. Winery wanted a letter acknowledging the revised compliance date. On February 25th, 2020, Brad mailed a letter of confirmation of the reinspection date of Monday, November 30th, 2020 by certificate of mailing. A copy of the letter and the certificate of mailing receipt is submitted as Exhibit L. There's those emails. I took a little excerpt out of there. There's the letter that Brad sent with the date of November 30th, and there is the certificate of mailing of the letter being sent.
Certificate from whom?
Huh? It's a certificate of mailing. It gets stamped by the.
No date on that letter.
Excuse me, hold on. First of all, she has the floor.
Okay, I'll wait till I get
And
my
when
turn.
it's your turn,
Fair enough.
you can get there.
We'll come back to it.
In a reinspection after the 11/30th of 2020, and in an email dated October 1st, 2020, Amanda Matlasko advised that Mr. Winery requested for Brad Link to be removed from the case. Brad was immediately removed from the case, and Code Compliance Officer Dante Ship was assigned to the case. On December 2nd, 2020, the garage was re-inspected by Dante Ship. The garage had been enclosed with house wrap, but none of the violations had been abated. And once again, it's Section 1341-13A1, the eaves, roof, and walls are not weather tight or watertight. Section 1341-13A2, the downspouts and gutters have not been properly installed. And Section 1341-13A4, exterior surface are not weather tight or watertight or maintained in good repair. A copy of the email and the pictures are submitted as Exhibit M. There's the email basically saying that we were going to move forward with the inspection. And here are the pictures that day, December 2nd. And then before we actually give administrative penalties, an administrative penalty evaluation is required by Section 1341B of the Housing Code. And it says whenever a person violates or fails to comply with any of the provisions of this chapter, the Housing Code Compliance Officer shall have the authority to impose an administrative penalty. The Housing Code Compliance Officer shall consider the following criteria in assessing an administrative penalty. One is the extent to which the person has benefited from the violation of the chapter, the degree of harm to the public health, safety, welfare, and aesthetics as a result of the violation, the recidivism of the person, including previous notices and orders to comply and previous enforcement action, and good faith efforts of the person to remedy the violation of the chapter, and the duration of the violation after notice and order to comply was served. And here are the administrative penalties as provided by 1341-99A of the Housing Code. For a first offense, an administrative fine up to $100. For a second offense, an administrative fine up to $500. For a third offense, an administrative fine up to $1,000. So the housing manager approved the administrative penalty evaluation of the first administrative penalty in the amount of $50. And it was issued on December 9th, 2020. A notice of the first administrative penalty for failure of the owner to correct violations. The invoice was mailed to Carl Toby I. Winery, successor trustee, on December 16th, 2020 by certified mail and certificate of mailing. The notice provided that a reinspection would be conducted on January 12th, 2021. The certified mail was returned by the United States Postal Service marked unclaimed. Service was perfected by the certificate of mailing. Copy of the administrative penalty evaluation, notice of the first administrative penalty, the administrative penalty invoice, return mail, and the certificate of mailing receipt are submitted as Exhibit N. And there's that evaluation form. And there's the notice of the penalty. And then there's the invoice for a $50 penalty. There is the unclaimed mail. There's the certificate of mailing receipt. And then the second administrative penalty, on January 12th, 2021, Dante performed a reinspection and it appeared that no new repairs were made. The housing manager approved the administrative penalty evaluation, and the second administrative penalty in the amount of $250 was issued on January 12th, 2021. a notice of second administrative penalty for failure of the owner to correct violations, and an invoice was mailed to Carl Toby I. Winery, successor trustee, on January 12th, 2021 by certified mail and certificate of mailing. The certified mail was returned by the United States Post Office marked unclaimed. Service was perfected by the certificate of mailing. Pictures, a copy of the administrative penalty evaluation, notice of second administrative penalty, the administrative penalty invoice, return certified mail, and certificate of mailing receipt are submitted as Exhibit O. And here are those pictures taken January 12th. There's the administrative penalty evaluation form. There is the assessment of the second administrative penalty. There is the unclaimed mail. There is the certificate of mailing. And the code compliance recommendation is that after having been provided service with a notice of violation mailed on May 9th, 2019, failure to meet 2 extensions that were granted, July 30th, 2020 and November 30th, 2020, and after almost 2 years, the owner has failed to remedy the violations. Although the structure has been covered with house wrap, the eaves, roof, and walls are not reasonably weather-tight and watertight and not maintained in good repair.
Excuse me, Amanda. Can you silence your phone or turn it off? That's like the third time. I've really been nice and I haven't said anything to you about that, but it's very disruptive. Thank you. Amanda.
Downspouts and gutters have not been properly installed. The exterior surface are not maintained in good repair, so as to provide sufficient covering and protection from the structural surface underneath against deterioration. The violations have impacted the surrounding neighborhood by being aesthetically unappealing and having a negative impact on the surrounding property values. And it's recommended that the Housing Appeals Board deny the appeal of the first and second administrative penalties and order the repair of the garage to be completed with the Environmental Health Housing Code for the protection of the health, safety, and welfare of the neighboring property owners and the community at large. And then I have pictures taken today. And this is today. 2/23/21. And then if you would like to step to the podium and give testimony, please state your name and address for the record.
Sure. Okay, I gotta get this a little organized here because this is grade that first. Go through this. I guess this would be what I put together. If you wanted to put in that as a,
Is that a copy that we can keep?
that's all the, yeah, well, you can make a copy for your own later,
This is for the record for the meeting?
right? But
Okay.
most of it was up there, so it won't be all that much. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name's Carl Winery. I go by Toby. I live at 1021 Tiffin Avenue, Sandusky, Ohio, 44870. The property belonged to my mother, Sally Winery. The property was put in a trust, and I was made this.
Can you speak up, sir?
I was made the trustee, successor trustee for that property. And the trust really kind of just said, if you pay the bills, you can use the building. Pretty much is what it's about. to begin with, we got to approach this. I approach this as, I'm not the guy that just was here, who left a piece of property that he bought and came in with a dumbass reasoning of a B&B on Reese Street. Oh, he doesn't even know where that is. Okay? I have a judicial responsibility to keep this property up. I have on those papers, I'm a disabled senior citizen. Okay? I received SSI. To get SSI, you have to be disabled. I didn't have proof of that. I am 62. I'm just joined most of you folks in the club. Okay? I am a senior citizen then. Disabled. And I am the victim of a violent crime. This arson on the fire, which was never investigated. And I don't have any money. And I'll explain both of those. I want this read into the record, if you would read this. This is from a neighbor about their feelings about how that all went down with the fire.
Okay, do you want to read this to the record? You can go ahead and read it if you'd like to provide that on the record.
Regarding the neighborhood of West Monroe, Tiffin, Mills, and J Streets, we are proud of our neighborhood that coexists peacefully with very little trouble. However, there was a period of time when one of the many rental properties was occupied by a group of people that was behaving in a manner as to cause concern among the rest of the neighbors. We stopped the police patrolling our neighborhood on at least 3 occasions to tell them of what we were certain was drug and prostitution activities in that at that residence. We
Okay,
were
I'm
told.
gonna stop you for 1 second. I have no problem with, you know,
It's
you
in the
having
record.
that, and you got that, we'll make a copy.
Problem is,
We're here
the point of
today
this
to
is they
address-
didn't make an
You can't talk
investigation.
over me.
Yeah, don't,
What we're here today is to address the administrative penalties at this point.
Okay.
And that's in regards to the garage.
Fine.
And what your plan is, what you're gonna do. And again, this has been going on for a little bit of time, so
Okay.
just wanna see.
I guess we
where
can
you are.
pretty much, I want to go to the 16th meeting that we had. That wasn't just about the fire. The 16th meeting was about a nuisance.
But we're not addressing a new.
Oh, we have to address that because it was,
No,
yes, we
no.
know, ma'am. I'm going to say,
Sir, no,
this got to be put in the
stop,
record.
stop. The bottom line is, we're here to address the garage and your fire and what you're planning on
She
doing.
falsified on the record.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
I'm not, look, we're here to address the fire
If she
in the
presented the
garage.
letter up there on the 4th, she falsified on the letter, period. It's in the story. That's what caused the miscommunication problem on February 4th. Okay? I got got a letter from Brad. It should have been, I got a copy of a letter from Brad. It said it was supposed to be done November 30th. So we kind of worked hard at that. We got the
Is it done?
no, it's not done.
Why?
All right, we'll just skip to the, because I got a communication. Would you pass this one around so they can all read it from these people? And I got this in the mail. And I'll read it out loud while you look at it. But it was sent the 11/10/2020. On this letter, it says, "Dear property owner, the Sandusky, City of Sandusky Division of Code Compliance is pleased to report that your property located at 1021 Tiffin Avenue has passed the triennial rental inspection for the 2020 calendar year. Your cooperation and dedication to your property helps make Sandusky a better place to call home." At that point,
Hold on just a minute.
oh,
Oh, well, wait a minute.
go ahead, interrupt.
First of all, I'm trying to get some clarification. I want to talk to the inspector for a second. What does this pertain
The
to?
triennial inspection, I was fully aware of the garage issue, but when I did the triennial inspection, it was the property, the house. So the house was in good shape. that was not stating the garage right there. So I already knew what we had going on with the garage. So the property did pass the inspection, garage did not.
Well, and that was gonna be my question until you clarified that we weren't discussing the property, we were
Right.
discussing the garage.
Correct.
And when she showed you that little slide up there and showed the property includes the garage. It's not part of the property.
But it's part of the problem.
Well, that's a different issue.
That's why we're here to address it.
Well, I just did address it. All that administrative stuff is no good. The property, if you say no, I go to court to it. I am looking forward to it.
That's your option. Hold on. Ms.
Yeah,
Warren?
if I may, and I hope this is not out of protocol or order, but I would like for us to please stay with these administrative penalties. I don't want to hear any of the other stuff. That's what we're here for, the administrative penalties. The other things are another court, another place.
Well, part of the penalty part is they would like to see the garage
Right.
have some variances
Right.
done.
But the other stuff, I just would like, I would like to object to, if I can, because we just need to stay with,
What does this say?
I would like to stay with the first and second administrative penalties
May
for
I?
1021 Tiffany.
Mr. Gundensberger
Mr.
has the
Winry?
floor right now.
I've read through this thoroughly, and you agreed that the garage, we're talking about the garage now, okay? You agreed that by November 30th of 2020, the garage would be completed.
I have materials in the garage for
It
the
doesn't-
siding.
No, no.
Can't put them on and in the wintertime.
No, no.
Over talk, hold on.
Excuse me.
He has the floor.
I have the
You-
floor, but you can't do those kind of things.
You
And I'm telling you,
agreed.
this eliminated because my property includes the garage. If he knew there
Let's
was a
be-
difference, he wouldn't have sent this card.
Winry, I'm only going to say this one time. You must be able to understand that we're dealing with two structures here, a rental, which that postcard represents, and a garage, which encountered a fire. Now, do you understand that?
The property includes the garage. I don't understand that.
Okay, well, I'll make it clear for you. You agreed that the garage would be completed July 30th.
Right,
You wanted Brad Link off of that inspection, and he was removed.
right,
This gentleman was placed on the inspection list.
right.
He came and did two inspections. The first inspection led to the first administrative penalty because the garage has not been completed.
Right.
You agreed to do that by November 30th. A second reinspection was done, which resulted in a second administrative penalty. That's what we're here to discuss.
Right.
That's all we're here to discuss. Nothing more.
If this and that doesn't affect how how I think about things, then you're totally wrong.
I am not-
And number
That's your
two,
opinion. That's your opinion, and we're here to discuss one item only.
this should never came to my house.
Well, it did. So at this
So
point.
if it did, you gotta put it in your.
No, I don't. Okay, the bottom line, we're here for the administrative penalty.
That's it.
I'm gonna just ask the board at this time, what,
I don't have any plans until spring, put the boards on or paint them, and and put the gutter up. That's all it needs to be really done, ma'am. I don't really I have a problem being charged for it as a victim of a crime. I just don't I have a problem with that.
Okay.
And
you can, Sharon?
I have several questions, so bear with me on this before we make a decision on this. And I want you to please focus, okay? Because we have to ask these questions to determine what the verdict's going to be here, okay? So, is there any insurance on the garage?
there wasn't any insurance on the garage.
Okay. Who has legal title of this property? Is it you or is it Sally?
Sally, actually, the trust does.
Sally has it? Okay.
No, Sally's not alive. It's a trust.
Okay,
She's alive on paper.
okay. What is the reason for the unclaimed mail? You have 5 pieces of unclaimed certification of mail. Why did you send it? You didn't sign for it.
It took me to fight with I took the insurance issue to Columbus. It took me till July of 2019 to get determined. I also had to fight with the mortgage company. The deal with the mortgage company was a deal to complete the house or the property, and they made me put a roof on that garage. They didn't inspect the insurance. It was left off. I don't even want to come up with those issues, but it was separate and it could be left off. And my mom thought we could change it, save a little money.
Okay, are you able to do this work yourself on the garage?
Well, we're trying, you know, I've had 3 heart procedures since I've been back. 2 cardioversions, 1 cardioablation. I just thought the pressure left off. I got a little COVID love, got a little love from John because he had to investigate the fraud that I claimed, and it was a administration mistake. And I accepted that from him, but I wanted an apology and I wanted the letter out of my file. I didn't do this. I'm a victim here, and within 3 days after the meeting with Mr. Laskow, it was boarded up. Why it took so long to be boarded up? Now I've lost access to the alley. How to fix it? Losing access to the alley. I don't have access to the garage from the front because I have already had done a landscaping thing that would make it impossible to get a car back there.
Okay, so my next question is, are you financially able to contract the work out that has to be done on this? It looks like there's a lot of extensive work to be done on this garage.
It's got 10 pieces of wood in the garage that have to go over that siding in the picture. I'm going to paint and sand the pieces of the wood on the side, and it'll be painted.
You're going to do the work yourself then?
Yeah.
You're not going to contract it out?
I don't have that kind of money, ma'am.
Okay.
This was like, you know, no insurance, no investigation from the police station, not even come to the neighborhood and make them feel good about, you know, we got a handle on it. You know, these people are upset about that. I'm upset about that. You know, if you don't find anybody, fine and dandy, but the burning bush did not start my fire.
Okay.
You know, plain and simple. And now I am a
Got it.
victim.
Okay.
Why it took so long? I'm not doing anything from November 1st until May 10th, which is Mother's Day. That was brought up in the meeting as well.
Well, I don't know anything about the meeting, but I'm to get back on
You don't
point.
mean about the meeting. You watched it on TV.
I didn't watch it on TV.
You just did.
I-
You didn't watch all that?
I saw what she had, yeah.
Okay, well, then you just watched it.
Well,
with the
again,
felony.
you're bringing up something that we're not here to address.
Right.
So at this time,
You want to vote? You want to charge me money for not having it done? Okay.
Do you realize, sir, the third penalty is $1,000?
Well, they did it on the 17th. Again, it's wintertime. I cannot put the boards up that don't have primer on them in the winter. That's common sense. You can buy a can of that at Drug Mart on the dumbass aisle, end cap, for $1.99.
okay, well, thank you for that comment there. So what is,
You want to charge me the money for this? Like, you're going to take me to jail for not
not going
picking?
to jail? Nobody has ever gone to jail, so.
Well,
I mean,
I've
you
been
did
threatened
the
with
math
criminal
now.
charges about, and I'm the victim of it. I'm the victim. And the people probably knew who did it, and I can't get anybody to look after it.
I don't know. at
This
this
is,
point.
Madam Chair, I just want to reiterate, we're just here to talk about the.
I understand, so I'm asking the board, what do they want to do?
why did I get this card?
The card is not
Why did I
an
get
issue
this
anymore,
card?
we're not going to keep
Do
addressing
you
the
not know
card.
this? You can't be that incompetent.
Madam
I'm
Chair,
allowed to question him.
No, you're not.
Oh, no?
no.
No,
Oh,
so you out of order.
all
So
right.
as I said again, what is the board's plan? Mr. Gunnelsberger?
Mr. Winery, question. have you spoken with code compliance as far as what is acceptable to boarding up the structure? Have you spoken to anyone about what is okay to do?
What is what?
What is okay to do? What's permissible to do to meet the environmental health housing code?
I got the paneling in the garage. There's 10 sheets in there. I can't put it up because it won't
Let's back
go
up.
with the glue.
Let's back up.
It's too cold.
Let's back up, okay? Bear with me, okay? Let's talk about house wrap. Let's
But I
talk
got
about,
this in the mail. Okay? I almost had it done.
That card does not mean anything about your garage. I specify,
And it's the whole
I
property.
specify every write-up, whether garage or residence, every one.
Some properties have attached
3,000
garage,
of
some
them. Yours is
don't.
no different. They have all been specified. I do too.
That-
And then
that's
we'll
right.
have many properties that have proof. Garage
I
is well
would-
as house.
Okay, we're gonna, Mr. Gunnelsberger,
I am going to make a motion to deny the appeal of the first and second administrative penalties based on information contained within Exhibits K and L, and the fact that the revised compliance date of November 30th, 2020 was not met, and so order the repair of the garage to be in compliance with the Environmental Health Housing Code for the health, safety, and welfare of the neighboring property owners and the community at large. In addition, all outstanding rental registration costs and all administrative penalty costs are to be collected in whatever manner is necessary in order to secure payment.
I second.
it's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Roll call?
Ms. Sharon Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Gary Gunnelsberger,
Yes.
Ms. Dana Gamblin,
Yes.
Mr. Frank Valley, Ms. Janice Warner.
Yes.
Been moved. So ordered.
So what does this card mean? Does this mean anything?
It means that you keeping up your property.
It's for another group.
No.
No, it's for another group.
I'll make it up. Well, add it to my property. But property. Listed in the auditor's office, the property has the garage
Okay.
and the storage.
And it's
You
still
shouldn't have just sent this, or I would have finished it by the 30th, but it took the air out of my.
Okay, Mr.,
That's fine and dandy.
that's fine.
I'm gonna put,
Okay.
add this
Can I get an adjournment for the
much.
meeting?
I move for adjournment.
Second.
Moved and second, favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, so be it.
I need the next appeal up.
If you're gonna appeal this, the next one, you'll have to,
Right, what is the process? What are the, I haven't, is there not a process for this?
this is the end of our process. For you to go on, it goes to a legal level.
I feel you. I'm out of here. Thank you.
With the Sandusky High or St. Mary's? Yeah,
St. Mary's.
that's what I thought.
I have to do
His grandfather was superintendent of schools in Sandusky school system. What
That's, I thought I was as nice as I could. Thank you. Yes. Yes, oh, okay, yeah.
And I saw two dollars, and I didn't ask them.
Go ahead and eyeball me all you want.
That's the other side.
You don't scare me.
No, that's right.
We had a job to do, we did it. You don't agree with it, that's your problem.
Okay. Now, what about this third one?
And I know he's younger than me, but he was out there in school. I remember his mom. Sally Winnie. Oh, was he? Yeah, but I'm like, nah. Yeah. It's like, I won't go listen to this man. I don't know why I saw it. I said, I wonder if we're gonna take it easy.
I want to see.
He was like, she's great nigga.
And I was ready.
Yeah, and that'll be fine because, like I told you today,
Exactly. Like I said, all that bullshit keeps up.